guys, I'm here right now with Colbat of Team SMG. That was a very dominant first map. I'm wondering how you guys spent your day off.
Crying.
Crying? I'm pretty sure that is not true.
I think we just took some time to refocus our headspace, like I mentioned before, and then went through the vault, took a bit of rest, had a really good dinner, and then just came back and played our game.
So you guys are very, very refreshed indeed. Thanks for your time, and we'll see if Team SMG can close this one out.
I mean, that must be the secret of having a great performance on Lotus. You're delighted right now. I'm joined by Baby Bay and Sapphire here. Can anybody get more than 3 rounds against them on this map? They got to stop banning it. This is obscene.
Yeah, their Lotus is obnoxious. And like, yeah, no 4 duelist comp, but they played it like there was 5. I mean, like, come on, man. And just even the layers to the map, like, we're not even getting to see most of their strats, I feel like, because they're just dominating off of just headshots. But when we do see it, especially that round that you went over with the double trap play, I mean, that is just some...
Las sensaciones con el equipo contra EDG fueron muy buenas. Se sienten muy bien, finalmente se dieron los resultados que buscábamos y mañana va a ser mejor. Tengo técnicas de respiro que trabajé con el psicólogo, entonces eso me ayudó a calmar mucho en el pause del OT. También hablar con mis compañeras, hablar con mi coach y mi analista. El equipo, las personas que conforman el equipo y el ambiente de trabajo.
For just a moment, now clear. 1v2. 1. See me lose so weak. Khalid at 13 HP just on the other side of the door, and that's a gutsy call because that nano didn't land, but it doesn't matter, the kill does.
Bueno, yo creo que las palabras que definen a mi equipo es la resiliencia y la voluntad de cada uno. Obvio que sí, porque nuestro equipo se conforma en LATAM y Brasil es muy destacado por la agresividad del equipo, de los equipos en realidad.
Sorry guys, Baby Bay got too excited about Team Schmieg and he ran off to try and copy their strat book. You trying to go steal it.
I was trying
you
to
get anything
speedrun the
good?
series, you know what I mean?
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of touch and spawn, a lot of, running it down, yeah.
Standard schmeeging stuff, standard schmeeging stuff. But yeah, we heard that from Kalita too. They want to be resilient. They want to keep going. They did that already yesterday, Heather. You know, they got their first international win. They're one map down. It is not the end of the world.
No, definitely not. They're going on a map where while they didn't win it the other day, they had a really, really nice comeback and showed so much potential. So I think they're going to feel good here.
Yeah, and do you know who feels good? Me, because I'm doing very well in the bingo right now. If we take a look at this, I believe, Heather, you were on the board from the outset with a hand heart.
I think so, yeah. I think we've got that covered. So we do have our walkout hearts. And I believe I have another one too from the walkout. I have 5+ desk plushies.
Oh,
so
you got 2 for 1.
You got 2 for 1.
You got 2 for
So,
1.
yeah.
Okay, I think we can cross that off for you. So Heather's just missing the Yoru, the Jet, Knives, Ace, and the 1v3 clutch.
And I'm missing everything. Every single one of them. There was no Jet played on this map, which is, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, just to show
and I don't
you
think
guys.
we're going to get Jet in the next map either.
Yeah, just to show you guys how well we're doing. So Heather got this bottom row covered. She's got these two. And I've got a pop-up. And I think that entire map could, you know, constitute as a pop-up.
I think so. That's fair.
Yeah. And Dre's doing terribly.
Yeah, I'm doing terribly, but we also did see the crowd cheering for both teams. I'm fairly certain. We saw the energy that the Brazilian crowd likes to give to SMG, and you know they have to be rooting for KRU as well, especially because they have a Brazilian player on their team. So
yeah,
we did see that today, and I'm sure we're going to see more of it.
And you were really banking on Fluorescent, to be fair, to cover the majority of yours.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely
later
banking
today.
on Fluorescent to go crazy.
You're waiting to for your bingo to come true a little bit later, yeah? Yeah?
What?
What? Anyway, let's talk about the next map because Lotus is down. We do have a bind coming up now. And again, I think you said, Sapphire, when we saw the map Victos, you were surprised that KRU wanted to go for bind.
Yeah, I was surprised just because SMG has been so good on it as well. And it's the map that they frankly destroyed G2 on. They're incredibly aggressive, just as we saw on Lotus. That being said, it's still a map that KRU has shown potential on too. Again, they had a really close match against BBL. They were down by a significant amount and they had a really, really nice T side there. So I think they're going to make a good comeback here. It's a map they're going to feel somewhat comfortable on.
Yeah, and KRU is actually insane on bind. Their first loss on bind was to G2, and you would argue that they probably should have that too in overtime because that last one so close. 1 HP. The bomb timer is going down. It was crazy. But also SMG looked absolutely ridiculous against G2. Sorry, I meant to say that KRU looked insane against BBL. But the problem is when BBL played against KRU, they were taking advantage of their defense side by running them down, doing really aggressive plays. And I think that if KRU can figure out their defense and go over it and like have better answers for early aggression in rounds, I think they can actually win this map.
I mean, the question is always, can they just deal with SMG, with all of their aggression, all of their aim as well? And speaking of the aim, Alexi is actually currently in the aim lab shoot-around. No wonder she is popping off. If she's aim labbing and aim training every single day as well, baby, I know you love a headshot percentage stat.
Yeah, and I actually believe in aim training. I aim train every day, and I feel like there's no harm to it. And, you know, this team needs to just keep doing what they're doing, keep staying online, keep aimbotting every shot they take, and that transfers over into pistol rounds especially. Pistol rounds are a lot about individual skill, a little bit of RNG, but not so much utility because you don't have the most money in the game, so.
Oh, I actually love that she's warming up too on bind because that's actually what we saw from the team on this map. They were incredibly aggressive out of the hookah, getting a lot of control on both sides of the map, and it worked out really well for them.
Yeah, it did indeed. But also, Alexi is someone that, Sapphire, you look to as one of the players that could potentially even nab an MVP if she's able to take it all the way to the finals?
I think so. She's far exceeding expectations and has been that pivotal player for the team to win them that series yesterday.
What do you think, baby? You agree? Are you on the Alexi hype train?
Yeah, I think Alexi's actually insane. She's already popping off now, but you know who was actually dominating this map is
all of them.
wait, I forget. Energy. why I didn't want to pronounce your name wrong, so I had to double check. But yeah, Enery has been absolutely dominating this last map, looking way better than yesterday, and it seems like she really got her mental together.
It's the Petra effect. It's like you get Petra hands
of
defeat.
Against the best, you become the best. And that's what she's looking like right now.
That's a quote. That's a quote, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, let's hear what Coach Fricks had to say ahead of map 2.
I'm here right now with Fricks of KRU. Fricks, what do you tell your team in order for them to reset mentally, especially after a tough first map loss like that?
I told the girls that we need to adapt faster, we need to play aggressive, and we need to find our way to play in the chaos that is created. So,
Thank you very much for your time. Let's see if KRU can bounce back.
I mean, they have to bounce back. They do not have a choice, because if they don't bounce back on Bind, Sapphire, they will be eliminated from this tournament, albeit they've had a better result than last year, but they're aiming for higher finishes.
Yeah, of course. And we heard the crowd get excited for them when they started to pick up rounds. Like, they want to still stay in this tournament. They want to prove not just are they the best team in LATAM, but they can compete with the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they definitely don't want to go out like this. Not here, not right now, you know. Having a 13-3 loss on that last map, that's a brutal way to lose. And they, once again, didn't get any momentum going into this next map, and that's what I'm worried about. Now, the good thing is they do get to start on that attacking side, and they can set the pace, but at the same time, with how SMG played against G2 with their defense aggression, this might be a repeat of Lotus, because we saw how that defense aggression was conditioning future plays in the halves and everything like that.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Just imagine the players are backed up all the way to attacker spawn and have to wait back there because of the aggression. Yeah, I mean, SMG just does such a wonderful job of like conditioning their players so that they have to plan for everything. And so KRU, while Khalida said they want to play 3 times as aggressive, that certainly was not the case. SMG didn't even give them that opportunity to do so.
I do want to look towards the veteran players, though, because we did mention, you know, when G2 were struggling against SMG on the brink of a possible defeat on Split, we were looking at players like Petra, like Mimi, the veterans that have been doing this years and years. You have some of those on KRU, Sapphire. You have those players that can pull them out of a bad spot.
Kinnear is as OG as they come. She's been competing on LANs for as long as I can remember, and so these are the players that you need to step up, as well as players like Romy. They need to lead the players, get them in a better mindset. Like, it's not over yet. You still have 2 more maps. That was the other team's maps. It off and focus on what you do best.
Yeah, and to be fair, this attacking side of Bind was the side in which KRU did start making comeback in that series against BBL, and they looked really, really good on it, and even so. And they actually did a good job of punishing the aggression of BBL on this map, so I think that they can emulate that against Team SMG, and they need to do that.
Yeah, and what we saw from KRU yesterday is like they really good at the second round as well as the bonus round. In this first map, they were only able to get at that in the second half, and that's great. They started that very, very small comeback, but we need that from them out of the gate. They're really good on thrifties. They're really good on pistol rounds. They're going to need that on Bind to push it to map 3.
Well, the thing is, though, SMG, they are very, very confident, and let's hear from their IGL co-Hybe on just how confident they are in this matchup.
G2 was like the previous champions, and they played really well, but also we were like in a bad mental state, so we weren't really prepared for it, but we will do better in the future. I kind of feel a bit sad, but I guess it was a learning lesson for us, so it's all good. Like, we learned a lot from it, so I'm grateful for that, and we're gonna work harder. Yeah, I feel the biggest takeaway is to just be calm. Even when you're losing, you have to be calm, you have to do your job, and just trust all of your teammates, and everything will be fine.
The Viper has her orb to deny the B main push. Like, there's just so much against her right now. They're playing this crossfire, peek off me in spawn.
They're both so weak. They're both so weak. That's the first to fall. The second does too.
We really are like a family because we do everything together and we do trust each other. We are really close together outside of the game. So I feel just don't look at it as it's the last game if you lose. Like it's not the lower bracket, but just play the game as how you will in the scrim and in the tournament. Like just try your best and everything will be okay.
I mean, Kohaibi, she does everything. She IGLs. She sometimes even trash talks, apparently. But also, she also coaches. She is a player coach. She comes out with a lot of the ideas. She's kind of doing every single job she possibly can on the team, which I think makes it incredibly impressive when her individual performance doesn't suffer.
Yeah, I love like how deep her strat book is in that case. Like, can you just think of it? Like she's dreaming up these strats probably every day, not just as the in-game IGL, but also like as the team's coach. And so along with Cobalt, like they've cooked up something like really unique on this team.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to have being like a player coach, but if it works and when it does work and you see it's working, it feels really good at the same time. It feels really rewarding. So the fact that they're actually just dominating in this fashion right now and honestly taking world champions to a map 3, it's got to mean a lot for the likes of an IGL like this who's also able to put up numbers.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not over. We have seen teams that win map 1, they are in a great spot, and then things don't go their way. They start to crumble because, Baby Bay, you have to keep mentally resilient throughout the entire series, not just for one map.
Yeah, exactly, and we saw that with KRU almost losing Ascent to EDG yesterday. Thank God they won in overtime. But if you're not on top of your game, even if you're up a map or whatever, there is a chance you're gonna get upset and you're gonna lose. That's something Shopify has done really well is Effie's has ingrained into their players. Like, hey, like I know we won the first map. I don't care what the score was. Play like it's 0-0 and like you're 0-0 in the series as well. Just do your thing.
Yeah, and you know, just watching the team here, like it looks like they went away. They're coming back. I saw some smiles there from Shies. Like I think they're in the zone. You know, Kinnear is laughing again. So you know, hopefully they just chalk this up of like, hey, we're just not gonna win that one. Like GG go next, and let's close it out of the next 2.
Yeah, and let's talk about their comps as well, because we've seen both of them play Bind already. It's KRU that's gonna go on the Fade Raise for this map, and SMG coming out with a Chamber. So how much does that change, you know, their playstyle, their game plan of what we've seen already?
Yeah, so the benefit of having the Fade Raise comp, the double initiator comp, is that your sight hits on attack, and we saw it against BBL, they are so strong when the utility is all flooding in and it's correct. It's really hard to play these aggro spots against this comp because of the multiple dogs that they have, the scan, the flash, and this is really good against the chamber that Team SMG has been playing because you're able to not get picked off early. You have an answer for almost every angle to take.
Well, let's take a look at the Prime Gaming Agent select now and see if we are going to get, you know, those discrepancies of the chamber on the side of SMG and then the Raze Fade Sapphire. It's the same comps.
Yeah, it's the same comps. This is what we expected. This is where both teams played quite well on it the last couple of days. So, you know, what I'm interested here is obviously we saw SMG play very, very aggressive. So I imagine even on defense, they're going to be using Raze on an area and a Sky to make aggressive plays. And on the other side of the map, you're probably going to see the same from Chamber as well. And then you can quickly TP back.
And my question is how is SMG going to deal with the slow playstyle and all the utility that KRU has? Or are they just going to peek everything, like peek the showers angle every single round and just dominate G2? Or dominate KRU how they dominated G2?
Yeah.
And is KRU going to be aware of the flanks coming out of SMG?
I can't wait. I cannot wait to find out and send this back into game with your casters, Doug and Athena. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Incy. Yeah, Athena, the benefit is she doesn't have to wait. She says she can't wait. Good news. You don't have to. We're getting back into the action. Again, the second map, elimination on the line. We talked a lot about comps. Wait, give me your thoughts on this chamber. What do you think?
I mean, I really agree with what Baby Bay said on the desk, where the double initiators is going to be like a slow-paced, bait-out stuff play style, whereas SMG has this chamber, this aggressive and take lines sort of play style, where you have to play for those picks, especially against these initiator comps. But I think it'll be easier for SMG to bait out the util that KRU has on their side, because chamber walking up, TPing off, that's so much stuff that they can use avenues in order to bait. So I think both these teams right now looking pretty balanced, and I think picking comps that suit their playstyle the most.
Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. A quiet start for the attacking side, who are still trying to somehow mentally recover from the shellacking that took place on Lotus. Perhaps a new map, change of scenery could be what they need. Off of the flash to satchel forward, out from Michaela, and they're going to funnel in right behind it. But SMG have members in the smokes. They're all here on site. They're going to be able to take this fight. Kahibi's able to get the first. Still causing problems. You got this flank that's coming in from spawn. Yeah, you got some of the site, but you've lost everything else. Fortunately for them, the TP is going to allow them to flip the map, head over towards B. But it's a foot race.
Yep, 2v4, so hard against this double flank that's already coming in. 2 players on either side, but we do see a battle. 2v2 within that spawn area. KRU versus SMG.
Just the smoke keeping these duos apart as it dissipates. The gunfire erupts, and it goes tit for tat in favor of KRU. Numbers their way. However, Shies is left alone, 57 HP, and yeah, you dealt with the 2 that were in your lap. You have to deal with the other 2 that are on the flank. Alexi's left alone. She's got to win the fight, and she does. That was way too close for comfort.
I mean, what an explosive round. That was so back and forth. Both these teams doing so well in the amount of space that they had. KRU actually a lot faster and thinking on their feet with how they want to play the round. I mean, taking back site, pushing through with that util, and then pushing through spawn. They knew they had to capitalize on numbers. It was really, really well played. But unfortunately, Alexi is there to just end that round for them and get the defuse. Both teams looking really promising so far on Bind. And now we actually have Inari playing with that judge. And this is what I'm excited about, because I love the judge on Inari. And she's going to be holding that towards short. But 4 players of KRU outside of long. Kunir gets 1.
An excellent start. Alexi no longer around. You still have Kahibi, who's around to cause some problems with the Headhunter bullets. 3 left. You see the dog trampling forward, trying to apply some pressure onto that chamber. Kahibi taking a little bit of a step back, expecting the aggression. That shot lands right between the eyes.
My gosh, a clear confidence on Kahibi to take that peek. And now this double senti hold towards B. It is going to delay for so long, to the point where these players have to come up with a really good plan on KRU in order to execute. They don't have the eye. They still have flashes. No more dogs. But they do have all 3 smokes, so a full execute here would be good enough. They're just holding, chilling, making sure that maybe they rotate, maybe they try to get some info, but no. Double senti holding the site down.
2 kills found for the duelist.
There.
They're going to have full access of B, and this time it's a bit of a different story here. They do have a Stinger, or excuse me, a Spectre and a Bulldog to fight back with. But the tale of the tournament has been these 2v4s, and maybe SMG can do it again. They've got the satchels, they've got a nade, you've got just so many things to deal with. Inari getting the first, Michaela 4 on the round as they tie us up early.
That second round win being so huge for KRU. This is already a momentum turner for this team, because now whatever happened in last map seems to be gone from their heads. This execute looking great. SMG not taking the time to figure out how they want to play the double sentis on site. They wanted to play for site, but they didn't have any more gas left on that Viper, and the chamber actually giving up the line, just taking jiggle peeks. That's not how you want to be playing, especially against Sheriffs, and especially against Michaela just exploding with her Spectre.
Just pistols for the defensive side. A little bit of thinking twice on who that orb is going to go towards. Was an Airy who walks away with the resource, and Shy's feeling some of that pressure. Again, very reminiscent of what we saw on Lotus. A lot of denial of space early, a lot of taking that away is SMG, not just in the space, but they're farming the shower orbs too.
Yeah, for sure. Those orbs are so important. We normally see SMG fighting for double extremities in most of these maps that they're playing. But again, they're only kind of setting up for that showers and trusting their double sentis to hold down the site, the chamber and the Viper on B. Still kind of SMG style, but I understand that, like with these Sheriffs, that they're only trying to take those fights in certain areas.
Right, right. And so with that, a bit of a step back. See if SMG, they want to flood through Telly and take this fight, if they want to quickly flood via the flank, or how they want to do this. They are sending 2 on the flank, leaving 1 player on site. Kahibi is able to get 1. 2 Sheriffs left for the defense. And they're dealing with the flank Rami is, or at least attempting to, as Shirazi is going to fall on the site. The few resources that they had are crumbling all around them. KRU should get this second round.
Spike planted.
Yep, the drawback of Chamber on defense is not being able to hold a sight on and execute unless you're just going for frags. And as we can see, KRU already spotted that out and took that advantage of those in these last 2 rounds. I wonder if they're going to switch things up and try to get an operator online for SMG. But again, they don't have that much money. They're not going to be able to do it just yet, but they're one off the tour de force for Chamber.
And I wonder, with some of the success that they've had in getting Shower's control and getting that orb, I wonder if we're going to see something early to get that over to her, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Instead, opting to take an aggressive line towards a short. Never mind. I've lied to you. I've lied to you, good people. I've been trolled. I've been baited. That does seem to be the play. They're sending 3 towards Showers to get that. Meanwhile, KRU playing very pacey towards B.
Go get him.
Naturally, it was an Aerie who got the orb. Either way, no tour de force online yet. KRU have done a really good job of getting up until this point in the map, right? They take long, they grab the orb, and then they freeze here. This time, what do they choose to do? They've got the dog pushing forward, the showstopper, and the prowler. Everything let out the kennel. Michaela pushing forward, just looking, guessing, trying to see if she can land a shot with the showstopper. Not gonna flash on the other side. What on earth was that? Oh, I'd pay to see that again. The orbital strike, but it's not really going to matter. They're able to heal up, they're able to take the space, and now they're going to fill in on the vacancy that's been left.
Yeah, this is going to be a fast flood off those 2 kills. Really great round. Kohaib and Kamiu just cleaning up Kunir and Michaela. And Romy left in that hookah spot, but it is a firing squad, but she can get 2. Really good guns down at least, I mean, coming in. But yeah, like you said, they do a really good job of taking this long control, but so far it has only been long control that they've taken. Right. And again, we do have this chamber with this tour de force up, so maybe kind of using it. But look at these kills. Alexi, so clean, just holding her ground, standing her ground, and this flood off those 2 kills. Super, super important. And now, you know, the downfall as well with this comp for SMG side is they can't get info as much. So KRU is abusing that because they know that as soon as they stop and they freeze, kind of what you mentioned earlier, that the way that SMG has to retake info is a dog or a flash. And they haven't been using that towards Long. And now the fight towards Showers and Neri getting 1. Shies with the instant trade.
2 shots of the Torque Force have been used. Neither of them have landed. Make that a 3rd. We'll try to keep tabs on that. All this build-up for that ult, we didn't even get a kill. That's crazy.
Hey, we got ulted by that earlier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And now they're grouping up towards Long, and this is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, we have the Sky spotting in hookah. This is fine, because if they take the site and they keep this hookah control, it is not fine, because the Seekers are actually going to come, and they're going to know that this Sky is alone in hookah, and crunching this from Long is going to be so hard to hold.
Alexi has the fight on her own, and that the thing, Khalida had no more flashes. Used the first just to get closer into it. Didn't have anything else to fight with, so hookah stays controlled. They have Seekers of their own. Kahaibi still looking for some value with that ult, and they're in their spawn. Now, are they going to go all the way through? Oh my gosh, they're going to go all the way through. The smoke dissipates. Kahaibi right on their heels, puts one in between the eyes on Arami, tries to get onto the second, cannot. And it's Alexi, who is the hero in hookah, somehow through all of that, got a hell of the play! The Red Bull clutch for Alexi.
That was a crazy round. I mean, KRU, they knew there was only 1 in hookah, but still sped up way too fast. Kalita, if she just waited a couple more seconds for her team to get out on site and help her, it would have been perfect. But either way, Alexi, the true hero, the true star of this round, even after that hookah kill, instantly rotating towards A and just being so ahead of what the other team is doing. I think this is a round that might potentially get SMG into the heads of KRU, because that is a hard one to lose.
Oh, for sure. You could tell they had such little idea of what was going on. They were running through pipes, knives out.
Yeah.
Right? Just genuinely no idea of where they could have been. You see the op invested for the defense. Hello, the judge has arrived. Shirazi is down. Bit of spam into the smoke to see if you can find another one for free. keep an eye on this flank though. Nary's so far advanced right now with the showstopper. So KRU don't really have the luxury or the benefit of playing off. They kind of have to try to play on site here and see if they can maintain this aggression, this onslaught that's coming from the defensive side. But Shies is going to give a lot of that space up short, and this should be really free for Nary. Look at how far up she's crept. The orbital strike is going to funnel him out of lamps. They're just going to hold on to this. Kamiyu's got, Kamiyu just narrowly missing getting it to half. Alexi is going to get one. Nary and Alexi still alive. Rami dancing around, and Nary's going to fall too.
What a wild round. I mean, that was so back and forth. Kamiyu just peeking and getting kills of her own, not even scared, not even waiting for teammates util, but played so well by KRU, just sitting in that smoke, being patient, waiting for the tap, and then after that, just absolutely playing amazingly. And of course, this judge, you guys know me and the judge. I love this. Roby's so patient. The crossfire between the Fade and the Viper to end the round so beautifully. That was great. And I love to see this trap, this talk. Oh my God, Shies is fired up.
Pop off, sis.
A trap in hookah, 3 towards hookah. This is so much information for KRU right away. They know that there's 3. They heard the sky flash. Chamber, they used the TP, and Kamiyu trying to get one of her own, pushing up into showers, but Shies is just holding that from way, way back.
A little bit of concern from KRU on where they choose to go. Great response out from Khalida. Kahabi maybe getting a little too cheeky. They do have Rami's pit, so if they can get forward, if they can get down onto the site, they invest the pit, and then we're going to get a little bit more of the chaos that we saw in the previous round. But that did seem to be something that worked out. It was a strength, if you will, of KRU's. This almost feels like deja vu. Shirazi ahead of it, landing it, and that's a spike! She gets a second! I mean, they might still be able to stabilize this. They're going to get the pit down from Rami. They're going to flip the map, actually. So there goes that pit. They have been able to upgrade some weapons. Kamiyu has, Nary is not, but she does still have that showstopper. One satchel to work with and a nade. Michaela weak, Rami not. And they're splitting. They're dividing the resources. One's gone into elbow, and Rami's playing so far back, maybe for a spit if there's a lineup for it, but it's just one. Is that really how you want to play this out? That nade went towards Octagon. That's going to connect.
One enemy remaining.
And there's really nothing she can do. Rami's got to be really fast on this. Kamiyu's got half, and she's going to get both. The Red Bull clutch for KRU.
My gosh. What a round, KRU. That was looking kind of scary. I mean, SMG with those sheriffs getting 3 kills. Those were so clean. But KRU, the really fast reactions. The Viper ult, that was kind of crazy, but I love the reactions going back towards me. Romy splitting up with her teammate. That's always a little bit scary. But when you get the timing right, that's exactly what happens. You end up with that Red Bull clutch from Romy. That was absolutely wonderful. And now they are starting the round with that orbital strike on Brim.
Another cheeky pop-off too. You saw it on the screens. KRU feeling it with the lead. And much like you said a couple of rounds ago, it feels like Lotus is just, it's a distant memory at this point for the gals of KRU. They seem much more comfortable. They seem much more stable. As, of course, as I say that, Alexi, that's okay. Is she gonna get out?
Yeah.
Just barely. 16 HP. And the spike is down long.
Yeah, that was such a good long control. They had so much util. I mean, it's really interesting that they're splitting up initiators in order to take so much space. They're setting up the raise and they're setting up the sky, but it just wasn't enough util because they had a trap set up towards long, which is something you should have expected at this point from KRU because they've been taking long almost every single round, and the one time they took showers, they ended up going back towards that B site.
It does seem like through all of that, they are going to be able to still maintain control of the spike. There was concern for a moment, but Kinnear scoops it back up. Still has one smoke to play with. Don't really have any of Rami's controller utility they can work with, the orb or the wall or anything like that. So it's just this one smoke. If they pop on this, that's all they have. They're contacting. Really no other option. The smokes are just a half a second late from Kamiyu. She's going to fall. And with 10 seconds, they've got full site control. The thing they don't have is Octagon here. This can be very pacey out from SMG, should they choose to pounce. Alexi weak, the first spotted, taking a quick bite out of Kinnear, the jump out of the window. Oh my goodness, she was still stunned. Rami's getting a second. This is gonna be another vintage numbers deficit situation that they're somehow gonna pull out of a hat. Kaibi getting onto the first, starting to try to crunch on elbow. That's exactly what they do. Shirazi gets 2 and SMG get the round.
Oh my god. Both teams just flipping this round constantly in their favor. I mean, again, taking back that long control and just walking up and contacting in. Such a good play from KRU. They knew that the other team had no information. They didn't have that long control. They gave it up. They're either playing retake or pushed up somewhere else. And then we had the 2 players in that hookah. The fast flood, the fast retake could have been so good. But instead, it went so back and forth. I mean, thank God for these players in spawn, and thank God for the good timing of flanking that elbow and getting the kill onto Michaela, because that was super important. If they didn't get that elbow kill, that was going to be a really rough retake for them.
I mean, low-key, I don't think they're winning the round.
Yeah.
Right? If they don't get that kill, you're absolutely right. And that's the fun thing about when we see at the biggest stage of the year, it is something that's small, right? That can dictate the success or the failure of a round, the ability to, at the right time, in the right moment, pouncing at the one kill that really just alleviates everything. When it comes to a situation like that, it's a lot of fun. SMG on a quick timeout here.
Yeah, I mean, for both these teams, it's looking really back and forth. I think KRU getting 4 rounds on attack, this is their map pick, right? So I'm expecting them to be more explosive and try to get at least 5, 6, or 7 rounds. I know that's kind of the name of the game, but especially when it's your map pick, you need to be 100% certain on your defense that you're ready. And again, SMG, they have that chamber. They have that ability to bait out your util on that defense side. So they should be a lot more explosive, or at least be able to be a lot more explosive with this double initiator comp.
Yeah, sure. Has not been their approach up until this point. We'll see if that changes in this round. Tied at 4 apiece. You've got the showstopper for Michaela and a judge in hand, so keep a close eye on that. She's shown proficiency with the weapon on more than one occasion. Quick flash, up close and personal, not finding anything. Michaela has gotten up to the box. The Haunt not spotting anything as the smokes go down. There's the satchel, there's the ult. The dog paving the way, and Michaela, no way. That was not the intended path, but it worked out. The flashback sight, this is such a miserable spot to be in, but Shirazi finding some comfort, finding some room to breathe. With the pit in hand, they're going to try to fight back and take elbow. Or excuse me, lamps, and it is going to work. Shies falls, the judge finding value, and how much more will it find as they have to push her. Surely they have to push her. The thing is, they know it's there.
I mean, the spike isn't even planted. They're just delayed for so long. KRU, you need to do something in that point. I mean, the first kill was so beautiful. The flash of the smoke, I mean, that would have been perfect if as a team they decided to take the space. But instead, they took so long to get that spike down. They took so long to get into any positions. They gave so much time for SMG to come back. I mean, look at this. Beautiful kill, but just letting Neri get these kills, that is not what you want at all. You're setting up for crossfires before you even have the spike down. Like, that was just so hard for KRU. They put themselves in a rough position that round.
Absolutely, and honestly, the rough position of that previous round has bled into this. You see the buy for them isn't great. It's just a Spectre for Michaela. You see the waterfall effects of what has taken place. They're still in this, though. They're just down 1 round. And this does not look like it's going to be a fast one.
Yep, just walking up into these places. I think contacting is a good call from KRU on this round, especially with these weapons that they have. I mean, trying to get those picks, trying not to set off a trap that potentially SMG has had, because they've been really good with these traps towards on and towards showers. So seeing how it's playing out, they're going to get a little bit of info, but they do not know that the whole team is already set up in this hookah area. Romy actually getting a really good lurk in towards U-Haul.
The insertion so far up. What does that do to rotations, though? Is that enough to manipulate? It's really hard. No, Alexi goes exploring. Alexi finds 2. Shirazi alleviating pressure on the opposite side of the map as well. SMG, they don't take the bait. They don't quickly move off of the one bit of info that they've seen, and that results in a Prime gaming flawless.
Yeah, I mean, again, Alexi's so quick with her reactions. Like, we hear the flash hit the people long, and instead of pushing down and trying to get any sort of fight, she just retakes it because she walks right in. And again, KRU not ready for the regression. I mean, that kind of retaking space is so important on this map for SMG, especially without the double initiator comp. It's just Sky with info, and instead of getting info with her flash and her dog and re-clearing hookah with a dog, Alexi was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna re-clear with my body. Like, I don't care, I'm feeling confident.
That's like a hard don't try that at home type thing.
I'll try that at home.
Pit right off the bat. They've got the trip in there too. They just flashed down B long. I mean, SMG are playing this defensive side so well. She's gonna get bullied off of the pit though. There to greet, there to receive as the clip runs dry, so does her health. Kahabi playing close, the Prowler giving the position away, a spam through to try to deny the plan as she's now decayed, she's seized, can't hear a dang thing. Somehow stays alive, and we continue to see this game of cat and mouse on the flanks. They knew that she was there. And that's actually gonna force Alexi back.
Yep, KRU again setting up into these crossfires, waiting patiently before they get the spike down. They're waiting to get some sort of clear on site, but they're letting these players all walk up, but it doesn't matter because Shaq gets the kill onto KRU, and that triggers the rest of the execute for KRU.
4v2 left on the round. Kinnear's gonna commit to the spike. It's just Alexi and Kahabi that remain. No ults, nothing like that. A little bit of utility. One of them just used. Unfortunately, on Kahabi as well. But off of that, they push forward. Carefully, you have a really nice setup out from KRU in this post plant. Kahabi has to venture forward. If you take care of Khalida, you're going to have to deal with the sucker punch on the other side. No way she finds that timing. It works out, though, as Shies and Khalida keep them both back. KRU still sticking around, still in this fight.
Yep, freezing the round and forcing SMG to get their info with their bodies. This is exactly what I was talking about, where if Sky is not there to get that information, the only other way is by fighting and getting the mechanical 1v1s on your opponent. And it unfortunately did not work out for that round. Camille walked up so far, and Shies holding that lamps, holding that U-Haul with a beautiful crossfire. That was a really well-played round from KRU, freezing and ball. Do anything, and now they're gonna restart this round and re-go into it with that slow pace. They're heading towards hookah, trying to get that hookah control, but SM round all the way up short A.
Can they close this out in the last round of the half? Oh, the shoulder spotted, the shot delivered. Kinnear no longer around, is gonna have to wait to play things out.
I've got your trail.
I was wondering when they were gonna drop the Seekers. Khalida choosing to do so there. Kahabi with patience. Michaela satcheling forward. Oh, she's just on the other side. That's a tip of the spear as well. Spike still in hand, and Ari ultimately falls. Finally, and they have a deep flash. That's a spike. You've got to be really careful here if you want to take that fight. Slowing down just enough, as it seemed like both guys just stared at each other for a second, surprised. It's like, hey, hang on, how the heck are you here? But they dropped the pit. Spike still not planted. Finally picked back up. Gonna have to navigate through all this green goo to have a shot at this. Kahabi pushing forward. That's the pit. It's going to force the plant to delay for a second longer. Alexi's going to clean that up. A 7-5 half in favor of SMG.
I mean, KRU, they were surrounded. They had players in long. They had players reflanking towards hookah. They had players coming from spawn. That was almost an impossible round for them to win. SMG playing it so wonderfully. I was talking about how long it was taking for them to get the operator online on Kahabi, but there's exactly kind of the power that they need because they got that aggressive line. They got the aggressive, and really good help from Alexi in order to get Kahabi to fall back.
It's been an excellent first. She's going to throw it down to an interview taking place in the crowd. Away.
Hi, Ginny here, and we're joined with Lori as well as Sarma. So thank you so much, guys. How does it feel to be experiencing it from the crowd's perspective?
It's been really fun. Everyone's so supportive and loud, and it's like, I don't know, it's such a fun experience. Just being a fan today. This is my first time ever experiencing like a VALORANT event or any esports event really, so it's a good experience.
Okay, a very great week of first, and I'm gonna unfortunately have to ask you a little bit more of a difficult question, and that is in regards to what happened yesterday. So do you maybe want to give us a little bit of a breakdown there?
On our loss? There's nothing like too in-depth that I can say. We played how we wanted to as a team, and we just ended up losing as a team. It was, I would say, a better showing than how we played against SMG, and I'm a little bit more proud of my performance, and I'm just happy that I had the time to experience on stage and with this amazing Brazilian crowd, and it was a great time, so I appreciate all the fans, everyone here.
Anything particular, though, that you would like to say to the crowd or the fans as well?
I love you guys are the best. I hope we can come back here one year.
All right, well, we'll see. Thank you so much for that. Lori, you said it was very much a first experience for you here in the crowd, being on LAN. What has been the biggest takeaway?
Everyone's so nice, so supportive, and it's just so fun. Like I want to keep like interacting with the fans and just watching the games, supporting my friends, and it'll be good.
Well, thank you so much for that. We're going to be heading back over to the casters, and that was live from the crowd.
From a couple of different personalities in the community give their perspective on what's kind of gone on for them, and then even this crowd, the energy in here has been so much fun today, Athena.
Yeah, I mean, I also love to see players still coming back to the arena, even though, I mean, unfortunately they did lose, but they're still here to support and watch, and we love that energy, and we love players that come back into it. And now the pistol round finally live. We have Frenzy on an area. We know she's a beast with this. She loves using that gun, but we're gonna have the hookah setup actually from KRU, which might combat the plays that SMG is trying to make here. They need to use some sort of Roomba or some sort of dog in order to get this space, because this is a nice crossfire waiting to happen.
Will they use anything? It's not going to be the dog. That's going up long. There's the Roomba. The nade's going to push them off. The angle, the discipline there is gorgeous. Understanding you had some pressure alleviated on one side. Still the due diligence to check the other. Do they pop from here? No, they're going to take a step back. I mean, if KRU are fast on this, they might catch. No, they almost had a window to catch KRU retreating, but doesn't turn out to be the case. Wait, see if anyone's going to push up short. And that is, of course, where SMG's headed. The spike in tow, that flash. Going to get some info, but Michaela, patient, disciplined with it. And any semblance that we were talking about before is momentarily forgotten. Ultimately, though, they do have some space. With the spike, they've crept up this far. Map here, they don't commit to this. Off of the tap, they flash, they take the fight on the other side of the smoke. SMG still up on this for now. Rami's so weak. Just a sliver of health remains. KRU not much better off, really, but they commit to this. They decide they want to lean into the numbers that they have and the positioning that they've acquired. Get the spike down, and they're going to play off this. Shirazi has, but that's all it is for now. Healing the pressure. The first falls, the second will as well. A 3K for KRU and the pistol for SMG.
Wow. KRU actually playing that round so well. Just losing those 1v1s at the end. They actually re-cleared long, and with that information, instantly sped up to rotate towards A. They had so many players on site ready to retake, but they did not take the space that they needed to. They had such good timing too. I mean, I was just begging for this guy in the smoke to hold that flash and just pop out, and everyone flood into sight. But unfortunately, it wasn't quick enough, because SMG ended up setting up really good crossfires, getting KRU into a spot where she wasn't blinded by the flash, and they played that really, really well from SMG as well.
Gonna try to go fast on this one. 4 pushing quietly. And surely you've heard the satchel and the dog. Yeah, the fight's gonna ensue out in Sand. The benefit for them though is, I mean, they've gotten B. I wonder, do they stay here? Do they decide to push through spawn and go towards A? They want to commit to this. They're gonna get Alexi to get the spike down. Aneri wanting to find a free one quietly, and surely she does. But we've seen a lot of judge kills this tournament.
I love judges. That is great. And now we need to see them flipping that side, because they know that there were players in hookah originally. We have Aneri playing close to the judge. Again, a really good way to get your team to peek off you, because if you get that first kill, absolutely stunning. She goes for more, but Shies is ready with the trade.
That Guardian proving to be problematic. But how much more bite is left in that? I mean, Michaela's so weak here. Unlucky. We saw that.
One enemy remaining.
That pays off in another kill, but Shies falls. Michaela's left alone. No attempt to grab the Guardian and stay alive or anything like that. Just going to die to the spike. Move on to the next round.
Yeah, flipping that site, such a good call from SMG. KRU showing their cards early. They managed to get that first blood on the round, but not much they could have done because they stuck to that hookah space. They didn't have time to regain any long control or regain that much map control towards the site, because Inari just set up right in that corner, ready to deny anything else from happening. Re-clearing that hookah super fast. SMG again, super confident, and I love to see this from them.
Watch and learn.
4-round lead. Now KRU with guns to fight back. Light armor for all of the members of the defensive side. That vintage Viper wall going through the teleporter, causing some problems. You imagine there's going to be a dog too as well to confirm that there are players playing back towards showers, but actually it seems like Khalid is holding on to it for now.
Right between
and Kinnear gets a kill. They tried coming fast out of showers. KRU's already here though. I mean, they have 3 members who are playing up in pipes and heaven. They're going to have Romy, who's going to be coming in on the late flank. And honestly, Athena, the more I look at this, the more I'm concerned is as SMG continues to get into these post-point positions, they're all tight, they're very aggressive, given that they have a Spectre, given that they have a Sheriff, that could be problematic, but Alexi falls to the nade, no less. They're gonna have to take his fight into the judge. There it is, and Ari gets a kill, but it traded right back. Have they bought enough time? Kamyu had nothing really to do there. KRU take the site back.
Yeah, with the loss of numbers on SMG's side, it was really a question of, are they going to push and get some space and try to capitalize and regain those numbers? But instead they decided to just sit down, which sucks because they have so much util on the KRU side for a retake. They are so ready. But then again, that was just a bonus round, and we're finally going to see the first gun round of this half. And now just in this replay, Romy with a beautiful first kill, walking up, getting the Lamps kill for that team. Just such a good retake, especially with the long flank. It was just overall really well played from KRU. They were not scared that they had those bonus guns.
Keep a close eye on the ults. It does look like Kamyu's 1 point away from having that online. Shy's also in a similar position. And a late Viper wall going up. Bairami just dropped it towards B. But there's no real aggression out from KRU. Gonna prowler through spot 1. And that's all it is, but KRU patient with it. Choosing not to move. That's a ton of info.
They just got so much info from that dog through the prowler through TP and the dog through long. Now they know that they're definitely going to be looking like they're taking out long. Again, they can TP at any point in time, but Michaela picking off Inari so early, that's definitely a sign that they were trying to set up for some sort of B hit. Stuck in Octagon. This is looking so rough for SMG already. This slow playstyle really doesn't suit them in this.
No way. Oh. What was the cue? How do they know? I mean, just so persistent. Now, this actually alleviates a lot of pressure. You're able to take one off of the site. If you do commit to B, you imagine you're going to have some sort of a numbers advantage. And off of that, they pop the flash. Khalid has gone unchecked, though. Has a flash of her own. Feeling some of the pressure. Michaela playing in the smoke. Now the rotations are coming through. This has been very slow for SMG. They might be burning too much time here as they try to go take the fight back side into elbow. All members of SMG fall. That was a massive blunder.
Yeah, that was such a confusing round again. Earlier, I was talking about how with this double initiator comp, Chamber needs to be beating this util out, but instead they're letting them use the util, letting them get all the information in the world. They knew for sure it was going to be a B hit. I mean, they dogged all the way down long. They prowlered through the TP. They saw everything that was going to be happening on the SMG side, and SMG still opted to commit to that B hit. kind of questionable. They need to be either way, way faster or way, way smarter with how they're playing the defaults on this map. I mean, you have to bait this util. It's definitely necessary because it's just like, again, they got so much info so fast that SMG couldn't even do anything about it.
Right,
I mean, the best thing they could have done is TP, and I think that's fair, but they didn't have any info on the other side of the map.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they were running a 4-1 where they had one person holding showers so that you know, okay, we can abort, we can, you know, call an audible and head towards A if need be. That wasn't an option. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just overall looking rough. I mean, if they are trying to do these defaults, they need to be able to have that push-pull scenario where they're pushing towards one side, pressuring, farming orbs, having someone else lurk, having someone else hold, and being able to go put pressure on different sides of the map. Because again, they're playing against 2 Prowlers, a dog, 2 flashes, an eye. It's almost impossible to get around this round without pushing fast or baiting out this util, or just, it's so hard. I mean, SMG, they're looking like they're gonna switch something up after this tactical pause. They do have just a hero Vandal on Kohibi, but opting to go with Sheriffs and Pistols for the rest.
Is that going to be enough? No real presence at all towards short early on. Now the Prowler getting cleared out by nothing but a Classic, concealing anything else that might be back behind there. It is a Vandal and the Sheriffs that you mentioned, but it was just the Classic that was fired. Is that going to be enough to lull them into a false sense of security as they've contacted so far up? She has no idea. There's no way she knows. She got past the Prowler. Friggin' the Nightfall, and that's going to give everything away. Plant committed, the nade will buy time. It'll dissuade any sort of push. But if you attempt a crunch, this is really bold too. Goes through teleporter, drops the Seekers. Do they flood? Or are they just gonna wait on the other side of the dam?
My God, Khalida giving a gun up to KRU. That is not what you want. You need to be way more patient, putting that pressure. The ult, the brim ult, they need to delay for so much longer. But again, they just finally tapped the bomb. The delay, so good. But KRU actually getting picked off, even though she still had mollies and Jaime and Neri left in a 2v1. Make that a 1v1. KRU.
70 HP, she's gotta go fast. She's gotta go so freaking fast. And an Neri's there to greet her. SMG up to 10.
KRU just giving up so much space on the map. For what reason?
Yeah.
For what reason? They are on pistols. They were so far back, and they were not ready for that aggression again. Once SMG gets map space, they take that space, they push through backside, they get the pick. They didn't even need to get a pick. They just played it so well because they knew that they had that Brim ult. They had Brim Molly. They had Raze on site ready to delay. And as long as they delayed for so long, they knew that the round was secure. So again, really well played from SMG. I don't even think that they were planning that round in a way that they were trying to delay for that long. I think they're trying to play for picks with that contacting up.
Agreed.
But KRU, again, just gave them so much space to work with.
Yeah. I mean, it was really opportunistic. I think, again, to go back to the kill that Khalida gave back in showers, allowing the upgrade of a weapon and alleviating some of that pressure, I think was massive. So they invest a pretty considerable amount in that, too. You think they got the Seekers once they hit through teleporter and everything that came along with that, though. So it wasn't even just that they lost the round. It was a pretty notable investment.
Yeah, it was expensive for sure. I mean, Khalida TPing with those Seekers, it looked so good until she decided to peek by herself. She knows the Seekers were going towards showers. She knew that there was at least another player ready to trade whatever frag that she was trying to go for, but she gave up a weapon, and ultimately that kind of speed and missed timing that she had just running into showers right away before making her team put a lot of pressure lost them such a huge part of map control.
On the other side of the timeout, KRU decide that they want to drop 4 of their members A.
Blinded.
And this is with guns too. This isn't like a cheeky, oh my gosh, they've guessed correctly. Aneri didn't see him or knew, but decided to fight the fight in front of her instead. Alexi's able to get past it. Michaela with the counter showstopper. And through that, I mean, ridiculous cacophony of utility at the beginning of the round, things settle into a 3v3.
Yeah, equalized for sure. I mean,
There's
that was
another.
crazy. And Neri, unfortunately, just missing Kalita. But unfortunately, Kalita didn't manage to get any of those kills. That was so weird. Such a weird round. But again, the Raze versus Raze, that ended up working perfectly. And now SMG speeding up into a B hit because they saw the 3 players towards A.
Yep.
And how they're going to play this is super important because they don't have any mollies. They don't have that much post-plant. All they have to work with is flashes. And I think that playing on, pushing towards elbow, that's definitely the right call because they need the space.
If they can get these kills, if they can swing at the right time, this will be secure. Kahibi's there on the first. Where's the counter punch? Where's the sucker punch? There it is from Shirazi. A little bit delayed, a little labored, but it ultimately comes through. Kinnear flashed up, can't see a damn thing. SMG get to 11, KRU on potential last breath here.
That was really well played from SMG with those 3 players. They tried to hit A. They really tried it, but the KRU setup towards showers and one towards that short countered everything. And Sky actually running just through the Viper wall. That's how she got away, but the rockets trading each other. That was so messy to watch. It was so much happening on my screen, and I'm sure everyone was confused. But again, SMG just regrouping towards that B. That was so good, and they played it so well too. They knew they couldn't play off. They just pushed. It was a little shaky because they didn't peek off the chamber, but still overall well played.
Well, KRU have done their diligence in making sure that there's nobody B. They push down sand, they push down long, they know that that spot is safe, and so off of that and feeling some of the pressure A, they send through to teleporter. But oh my goodness, she was looking the wrong way. What the heck was that? They drop the orbital strike, and SMG is already up in pipes. They're in their spawn. Shies managed to grab a weapon and get a kill for it. A 3v3, the only rifle in the hands of the Fade. Those sheriff shots just not connecting, just not on the mark. Now Khalid left alone. That's not going to have a difference either. SMG series point, KRU should be able to buy something here. But they're down to their very last round.
Yeah, I mean, super rough for KRU. They do have this Viper's Pit. They can definitely get a lot of map control and force SMG to push and try to use as much util as they can because they do have limited amounts. But pushing all the way through into their spawn, that was, again, just unfortunately the wrong gamble from KRU, like you said. And now we're starting to see SMG speed up the pace on how we normally would see them play, and I think it's working out great for them. So wondering if this is a round that they decide to speed it up, or they know that the other team is going to use that Viper Pit towards some of the short, somewhere in hookah, somewhere long, somewhere to just get some sort of free map control, because this is what KRU desperately needs.
And for SMG, I mean, I want to go back to the point you were just making, because it does seem like the pace is accelerated in these last couple of rounds. Perhaps it's smelling blood in the water, right? Realizing that you've got them exactly where you want them, and it's just going to take one final punch to knock them out. Both literally and figuratively. I mean, this is an excellent position for SMG to be in.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely, they swung the momentum their way, and this is why I was talking about KRU earlier, how this is their map pick, but they definitely needed more rounds on that attack to kind of get the momentum in their way. And now this defense not looking too hot, because the 2 initiators, yes, they're great at info, yes, they're great at holding, at delaying, but at the same time, they don't have that senti to just be a nuisance on the defense side. So now we do see SMG grouping up towards that long B. We have the Viper as well towards hookah, not even planning to insert themselves into any sort of lurking position, just holding. But KRU is all in hookah, Doug.
I do like how they're doing this. I really like this defensive setup. I like how Rami's playing to be able to impact both sides of the map with her pit and then the wall. The problem is there's no one there to keep that wall in check. So they've gotten past the wall, they've gotten out onto the site, and they realize, yeah, there's a little bit that you're going to have to alleviate in hookah. But SMG just disrespect the setup entirely.
Seek them out. My ult's ready.
My gosh, I mean, crunching towards that hookah. They don't even need the hookah space. They know they don't need this. They're just playing for themselves, holding that long because it's such an important space to play from with the Brim Molly. But they're finally getting countered. Michaela with the instant kill on Camille. Camille needed to stay alive with her Molly there.
And Alexi's now trying to do a bit of the same. You'd see a quick step back, but you're set up into a one and done. Just you're gonna get checked. Khalida does get one. An Airy playing backside, Michaela pushing forward. It's just those 2, unaware of where the other member was, but it all falls onto an Airy. Can She landed the shot onto Michaela. Yes, she can. SMG survive.
What an explosive way to end that game. I mean, Neri clutching it out. That was so well played by SMG. Super back and forth. All of these rounds were somewhat close, actually, because they were so back and forth. Each round getting trades and trades and trades. That just shows how good the teamwork on both of these teams are. But again, after an amazing dominant performance in that first map, SMG ending on top. This is kind of what I was predicting, and this is why I made them my dark horse.
I mean, yeah, you invested at the right time when the stocks were low, and they're freaking going to the moon.
I'm rich.
Right now, yeah, you're making a killing off of this. It's been so much fun to watch this SMG squad continue to develop and to show, I think, a lot of different sides, a lot of different facets to their gameplay and their approach. You know, they've shown, I think it was Neri that we saw at the very beginning. She was like showing to the camera she was just going to hold W.
Yeah.
We saw that.
We
saw some of that. We also saw the very calculated, very technical, very methodical approach to the macro game. SMG, I mean, they're the real deal.
I think the biggest thing that SMG brings to this table is how fast their reactions and protocols are.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they know that something's happening, if they don't have numbers advantage, if they think they're getting flanked, if they they have an answer for everything.
Right.
And Kohabi is just so fast to call these as well. We talked about hive mind mentality, and I'm going to keep bringing that up every time I talk about SMG because they are so collected and together in these decisions. I mean, it is something that is like an IGL dream, that you just like call something and everyone knows what to do.
Right,
like,
and it happens on the fly.
Right away.
And that takes a lot of trust. And well, we have to, I mean, we've got to remind you good people at home, when you're like, was it 35-0?
Yeah.
Domestically, and you come onto the international stage, you win your first series, that deserves you, right? That earns you a little bit of trust. And they continue to lean into it. Yeah, they took a loss. That's how they find themselves in the lower bracket, but this SMG squad does not seem to be taking a step back on that whatsoever, and we have to say goodbye to KRU. You see a final bow before the fans here in the studio, but SMG with plenty to smile about.
Yeah, I mean, taking that loss, they took it like champs because obviously they learned from the mistakes. They learned how to keep their mentality up, and they showed us that they're not out of it just because they ruined the streak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are a lot of teams who crumble behind that. We're going to throw it down to Yinsu and the rest of the devs to break down that series. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one indeed, Doug and Athena. Yes, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to KRU.
Thank you.
They fell to some of the crazy plays of SMG. I've got one to show you guys right here in the Verizon high-speed moment. There's a few we could have picked for this, but Baby Bay, this round was a really, really crazy round, and the timing of them winning this as well.
Yeah, the eco round against the team that has the best eco rounds in the tournament, and the 1v1 that it came down to with the insane headshot from Eneru was just absolutely crazy. Look at this. Eneri, sorry. And she was just on point. And like the casters were saying, she was running it down the whole time. A little bit too much, though. I'm not going to lie. She's getting punished a little bit. But nevertheless, there was signs of life early on in that game from KRU, and I did like the way they were playing, especially their post-plans.
Yeah, it was really neck and neck. Obviously, like, KRU should walk away still feeling good about that series. I think there's a lot of good performances from the team, especially Shy's had a really pop-off moment there. We saw her doing some trash talk. So, you know, despite the loss here, obviously they're going to walk away with they're still having that first international win.
Yeah, it is an improvement, and who knows, Safa, next year they come back, they get another. That's how you do it, right? You got to learn something from every time you come to these tournaments.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, you're looking at LATAM as a whole, and they continue to dominate that region. And so, like, right now, I'd say that, you know, there's still a lock as you look ahead for the future, and they're going to take this experience and learn from it.
The thing is, though, SMG, they live to see another day, and they are looking scary in that lower bracket. It's time to send it down to the stage. Dexina is standing by with Eneri for the Verizon post-match interview.
Salve, salve, galera! Barulho, tô aqui no palco com o Eneri depois dessa vitória importantíssima e vamos trocar uma ideia. Eu já quero começar perguntando para ela sobre a Lotus, né? Mais uma vez elas venceram de 13-3, de novo foi muito dominante. Eu quero saber dela o que ela acha que elas estão tão boas nesse mapa. So, first of all, Eneri, congrats for this huge win, it's super important. I want to talk about the first map, Lotus, because yet again you win another 13-3, another dominant victory. What do you think that makes you so good in this map?
I think
we have a great fundamental in Lotus. I think we really like 3-side maps because we do well with rotations and stuff, and I think that's our biggest strength, I think. Yeah, so that's why we really enjoy Lotus, and I think it's also my favorite map because I'm playing race there, so yeah.
Ela falou que acha que tem os fundamentos da Lotus muito bom, que elas gostam muito de jogar esses mapas, né, 3 lados e tudo mais, também que é o mapa preferido dela, porque ela joga de race, então é isso que faz elas tão boas aí na Lotus. E a minha segunda pergunta é para saber se ela esperava uma série tão clean assim para cima da KRU, com poucas dificuldades, né, porque que ela acha que a série foi desse jeito. And my second question, Bind was a little bit tricky, but the series was clean for you. Did you expect a clean series against KRU?
To be honest, I never really had any expectations, but to be honest, yeah, I feel like it would have been a clean 0 over KRU, I think, yeah.
Ela falou que não tinha muita expectativa, assim, mas para ser honesta, assim, esperava que vencesse de 2-0 para cima da KRU. E agora eu quero falar do próximo jogo, porque elas vão enfrentar a vencedora de Liquid contra a BBL. E eu quero saber dela quem ela quer enfrentar, se quer enfrentar aí a torcida da casa, né, e tudo mais. So your next match will be against the winner of Team Liquid or BBL. Who do you want to face it?
To be honest, I really want to face against BBL. I think they're a really strong team. I always watch their games at home, so I'm really excited to go up against them on stage. And yeah, I really want to go against BBL, I think.
Aí, ela falou que, pra ser honesta, quer enfrentar a BBL, que sempre quis enfrentar elas e tudo mais, então espera enfrentar a BBL no dia de amanhã. É isso. Thank you so much, and congrats and good luck tomorrow. É isso. Valeu demais. Tamo junto.
When people think about esports, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Players, obviously, but there's so much more.
With the launch of the MasterCard Gamer Academy, we're providing 10 people who are passionate about League of Legends or Valorant and want to pursue a career in esports with the chance to learn what it takes. What it takes to manage a team.
Can we wrap this up? We need to scream.
What it takes to produce content. Cut. Okay, yep. Okay, action. What it takes to write, direct, and produce award-winning content. And of course, what it takes to pull off some of the largest events like the League of Legends World Championship or Valorant Champions. In partnership with MasterCard, we've created a priceless experience. The chance to fly to Seoul, Berlin, and more, and take immersive courses on esports, business, content, and everything in between. Taught by the very best. Think you have what it takes? Here's how to apply.
Red Bull gives you wings.